Gamla Uppsala, Sweden, located about 40 miles north of Stockholm, is one of the oldest continuously inhabited sites in Scandinavia. Beneath the church that stands there today, archaeologists have uncovered what they believe may be the remains of a renowned temple described in medieval sources. According to the 14th century text, The Deeds of the Bishops of Hamburg, this ornate temple was dedicated to three of the most powerful Norse gods: Odin, Thor, and Freyr. The principal fertility god of Norse mythology is strongly associated with rituals promoting peace and prosperity. All surviving accounts portray him as a deity concerned with human well-being, agricultural abundance, and the maintenance of harmony. He was believed to control the weather and was celebrated for his diplomatic skill, often mediating disputes among gods and giants. In contrast, Loki, another prominent figure in Norse lore, was notorious for instigating conflict. As scholar Carl Sigfrid notes, Loki is technically a giant who lives among the gods and ultimately leads the forces of chaos against them at the end of time. Timothy Tangerlini describes Loki as a transgressive troublemaker whose actions create the very conflicts that drive Norse mythological stories. One such story recounts Loki's attempt to atone for one of his many misdeeds by presenting Freyr with a wondrous ship called Skidbladnir. Jonathan Young explains that Skidbladnir was considered the finest vessel ever crafted. It could travel anywhere with exceptional speed, always had a favorable wind, and could be folded up small enough to fit in a pouch. Tangerlini emphasizes its remarkable qualitza ship that never required tacking, moved swiftly, no matter the conditions, and could be effortlessly stored once ashore. To a Viking shipbuilder, a collapsible, perfectly wine-guided boat would have seemed miraculous. Some modern theorists speculate that Skidbladnir might not have been a purely mythical invention, but an actual craft witnessed by early Scandinavians. They point to the Sons of Ivaldi, the legendary dwarven artisans credited with forging the gods' magical tools. These figures appear in Norse mythology as master craftsmen, capable of creating extraordinary weapons and artifacts for deities like Odin, Thor. Because they are described as small in stature, some have suggested that the dwarves of legend might reflect encounters with beings the storytellers struggled to describe. This idea raises the question: if the Sons of Ivaldi were the builders of Skidbladnir, who or what? Some suggest that the term dwarf could have been applied simply because these beings were described as smaller than humans. Comparisons have even been drawn to modern depictions of gray extraterrestrials, though such interpretations remain speculative. The narrative then shifts to Mount Olympus in Greece. Rising over 9,500 feet, it is the second tallest peak in the Balkan Peninsula, and according to ancient Greek mythology, the home of the Olympian gods. The summit is frequently shrouded in clouds, inspiring ancient beliefs that the gods resided in a hidden, mist-covered realm above the mortal world. At the foot of the mountain lay the city of Dion, which by the 5th century BC had become an important center of pilgrimage and worship. By the 4th century BC, even Alexander the Great traveled to Dion to honor the gods associated with Olympus.